All right, hello and welcome. My name is Elijah. On the internet, I go by SunCard19. I want to welcome you to the Para Study Tarot course, Intro to Tarot, using the Rider-Waite deck. In the videos, I'm going to record from the Universal Waite Tarot deck, and it's a really good version of the Tarot deck and the Rider-Waite system. I really like the vibrant colors of it, so there are other versions, but this is the one I chose, and I really like it. Um, Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, and thank you for learning with me. All right, so here we're going to start with the major arcana. The major arcana are the 22 trump cards. They are numbered 0 through 21, starting with the Fool, ending with the World card. Okay, so in this first video, we're just going to take our initial dive into the tarot and the major arcana. So here on the left here we have the Fool card, which is perhaps one of the more famous tarot cards. Probably the most famous tarot cards. The card most associated, most often common associated with tarot. So here the Fool card is this person, and they're sort of dangling along this cliff, and they have the mountains behind them and the sun, and they're about to fall off the cliff, and they're just the fool, and this person is very foolish, just sort of, seems like some stumbling fool or some idiot that just, they got this dog barking saying, hey, what are you doing, get yourself together, stop, like, hey, hello. And so what we'll learn eventually is that this fool is the fool, but it's the beginning and the end of the cycle of the tarot. So this card is the lowest and highest card of the tarot deck. So this card, this fool, is not much different than like a mastered monk or a drunken master at some point. Some symbolism here with the Fool card. Still focusing on the left. We have the white dog as a sign of innocence, so we're looking at colors now. We have the knapsack, full of talents, full of this person's abilities. We have the white flower as a sign of innocence. We have the gaze off into the sky as a sign of higher consciousness. And so this person is just sort of willing to take risks and willing to just sort of live in the moment and just go with the flow. All right, card number 1. Here we have the Magician over on the right-hand side. And so this Magician, much different than the Fool. This person's on the ground, very intentional, very confident. We have the wand in the right hand of the person facing up. We have sort of the white glow, the aura of this person sort of glowing and beaming, very energetic. We have the infinity symbol on top of the head. They're sort of representing power and cycles. On the table there, we have the 4 implements. We have each suit. We have the earth. Here we have the cup. So the pentacle for earth, the cup for water, the sword for air, and the wand for fire, all on the table. We have like sort of some flowers here at the bottom, and a lot of the Magician is hidden. We have the Ouroboros here on the waistline. And then we have some more flowers up top, yellow backgrounds, both yellow backgrounds for both these cards. Red symbolism here. It's a very powerful color, very root chakra color. And so this Magician is very boastful. Chest is out, chest is forward. We have the one symbol pointing up, one hand pointing up, one hand pointing down. So the connection between heaven and earth, the as above, so below. With this Magician card, he's very someone who's fulfilling his talents, someone who's showing his worth to the world, someone who's very grounded and centered, and just very willing to play their part in the world. So the Magician is someone who's not afraid to speak his role, not afraid to speak his talents into the world. Okay, up next we have the High Priestess and the Empress. So on the left here we have the High Priestess. This is card number 2 in the Major Arcana. We have the 2 pillars, this left one here and this right one here, a very Masonic card here, and the 2 pillars of Boaz and Jachin. They're symbols of power and so they represent sort of structure and power in the universe. The high priestess here she has um, these networks of lily and pomegranate. They represent plenty. They represent sort of the riches of the universe. She has a cross. She's got an Egyptian headdress. She's got the Torah. She's got the Muslim crescent here. So she's very well versed in religion. She's very well versed in text. She's very studied, very confident in herself. She's got herself. She's happy being alone. She's happy being by herself, and just sort of creating her own way in the world. Okay, so the high priestess is very often associated with ancient texts. She's very associated with learning about yourself, studying yourself, understanding yourself. So she's this is a card about inner knowing and really inner wisdom. Okay. Here we have the Empress. So now Empress is outside. She's sort of out in nature. We have a lot of shrubbery, and we have flowing river and a lot of greenness here. Maybe some corn at the bottom here. So the Empress is a symbol of growth. She also has the pomegranates on her dress here. Some consider her to be pregnant and to be the mother. She has the stars on her head. She's got a crown symbol here. Sort of this symbol in her hand could be a symbol of royalty. She's got the cloth here. She's seated out in nature. So she's often a symbol of nature. She's often a symbol of growth, a symbol of motherhood. And so she represents the grandmother. The Empress is the mother card of the tarot deck. We have this feminine symbol here, the heart symbol of love. The red could be a symbol of love here. Green is a symbol of growth in the heart chakra. Some contrast between the 2 and the 3 here. She's internal, she's inside, she's outside, and she's more expressive, more willing to express herself to the world, not as secluded or maybe secretive. Okay, here we have the Emperor and the Hierophant, number 4 and 5. So the Emperor, we have this sort of warlike soldier, emperor, general figure. He's seated. We have the rams here, the 4 rams. They are soldier war symbols. They are like, he's got this armor on him. So this is a soldier general type, and he's pushing through. He's got a crown on his head, so symbols of victory. He's got the Ankh here, symbol of life. He has this orange or pomegranate in his hand, so it's another symbol of victory. A lot of red in this card, red and orange. So they're action-oriented, very, just get after it type of cards. Colors, red is a symbol, and typically root chakra is very, a lot of like anger and force and just really pushing through. Here we have a long beard, so this person is a symbol of wisdom as well. This person has been around a while. They've done this. They understand what they're doing. Really, a lot of entrepreneurial tendencies with this card. A lot of the father figure. So the Empress was the mother figure. This Emperor is the father figure. He's the disciplinarian. He's the courage. He's the protector. He's the soldier, the warrior. Very typical, male, strong male figure here. We do have a little bit of water here in the scene, so he does have an emotional side to him, but it's rare, but it is there when it's needed. All right, here we go, the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a lot of symbolism here. The number 3 comes up a lot in this reading with the symbolism of the Hierophant. So if you look at the crown, we have 1, 2, 3 layers of the crown. In the staff, we have the 3 here. So the Hierophant, also known as the Pope, could be a symbol of religion. We have 3 crosses here in the center. So it's like the body, mind, and spirit. It's the, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, the Trinity, however you look at Mother, Father, Child. But the Hierophant is a sign of wisdom. This is a sign of leadership. This person is teaching these two sort of understudies below here. And we have sort of the checkered floor and the pillars, so some more Masonic symbolism. We have this red is another color of symbolism of leadership. The gold is a symbolism of royalty and the sun and the creator, some would say. We have the locked keys here, cross keys. So here we have symbols of knowledge and teaching. He's not giving away his knowledge. You have to sort of earn it from him. We do have the blue symbolism here, so it's a higher conscious. The blue around the neck here, throat chakra symbolism here. It's about being able to speak the truth. We have the hand symbolism here, the as above, so below. So this Hierophant is someone who sort of becomes a sort of a middle passage, the connector between the high above and the students down on the earth. So becomes the middle ground, becomes the teacher. So the Hierophant can represent teaching, can represent religion, can represent establishments and things like that. So, and levels and hierarchy between the trinities and the three different levels of different situations. All right, here we go, 6 and 7. We have the Lover's card. This Lover's card is the classic Garden of Eden symbol. So it would be like Eden. It would be like Adam and Eve. And we have the tree of life, of knowledge, and of good and evil. We have the snake and the apples. And we have the fire burning. And we have an angel here. Some would say this is Archangel Gabriel. And we have this symbol of the sun above. So that represents the creator above. So more levels here, and they're naked, and we have sort of a mountain scene, and we have the green shrubbery below them. So here with the Lover's card, you would see that this is a symbol of the two of them are infinitely connected. His gaze is on her gaze is on above. So women tend to be leaders more so than men do, and it's sort of a generalization. Men are leaders of organizations or groups, but typically in a relationship, a lot of times the woman is the leader. That's a generalization, of course, but what this card is showing is that she's seeking higher knowledge while he's seeking her approval. And so this is a card about trust. She's trusting the above, the angel, and he's trusting her for guidance. And so just sort of indicates sort of how things go in relationships, but it does represent infinite love, connection, communication, and just sort of the relationship between male and female. Number 7 over here, we have the Chariot card. So now we're back to a singular figure in the middle, and we have two sort of Sphinx-like figures here, and they drive the chariot forward. And so one of the first times we see the winged discs here, symbol of higher knowledge and understanding. We have the moon figures come back from the high priestess. We have the stars come back from the empress. Stars being symbols of knowledge and understanding. We have the armor here coming back. So the armor from the emperor, and this sort of a conqueror, victorious card. We had the green wreath. That the full card had the green wreath as well. So we have like symbol of victory and sort of accomplishment. So the chariot is just driven forward. We have another river in the background, similar to the Emperor card. And then we have a city scene as well. So this chariot is a protector. This is someone who is continuing to move forward, someone who is in a driven position, someone who goes and just get after it. So the chariot is usually a symbol of victory, a symbol of being very driven, being very organized, being very focused on a singular goal. So these two drivers of these Sphinx-like, dog-like figures, they're the drivers, or cat-like figures. They're the drivers of the chariot, and the thing is that they have to chase the same thing. If they're chasing two different things, the chariot will sort of be pulled in different directions. But if they have the same goal, a singularity of purpose, then they'll be able to pull the chariot. Okay, so a lot of astrological sense here, sort of seeking inspiration from above to face and drive towards goals. All right, here we go. We have the Strength card and we have the Hermit. And so, Strength card. So now we have this woman who, again, we have the infinity symbol comes back. So she has infinite talent and infinite strength. Okay, and she's actually tamed a lion, and this lion has its tail tucked between its legs. So it's somewhat of a cowardly lion, but she's tamed it and sort of, she's sort of controlled it per se. She's also giving it strength and courage, so she's sort of building the lion back up to be who it can be. Um, so she's also wearing a wreath-like thing here on her head, so she's victorious. She's got the white gown on, so it's a symbol of innocence and a symbol of courage and strength. So she's very strong, and she's just sort of someone who has her power. She has her talents. She knows who she is, and she has control over herself. So that's a huge place, is that self-control in the tarot deck. So it's a sort of a huge accomplishment and a huge step that she has control over herself. So it's courage and it's strength of knowledge and who she is as a person. So this is a big deal. This is a situation where we've mastered ourselves. We master our emotions. We master our compulsions. We master our animal-like tendencies as humans. So we forget that animals are humans. Humans are animals, and that we have our reptilian brain. We want to lash out. We want to be violent. We want to conquer. We want to be mean. And she's controlled her innate urges, her innate animal urges. She has control over herself, so she's a strong person. She's considered strength in this situation. All right, over here we have the Hermit card on the right-hand side. We have a singular figure off in the mountains, standing upright. This person has a staff. This person has a beard, and they have a lamp here with a star in it. So a singular star. And what this person represents is blazing a trail. This person is on their own. They're moving in the direction of just sort of creating their own path. They are cloaked in white, so it's a symbol of innocence. But it's kind of dark shadowing, so it could be a nighttime sort of figure here. So this person is willing to take the journey on their own through the night. They have a single star, and they have supreme trust in this one light that they can provide. So the Hermit can represent light, represent being a figure of leader, being someone who sort of sets the trail, sets the path for other people. And so somebody who can, really be a leader, trailblaze. We have a walking stick is also typically a sign of wisdom and gentlemanly. He's sort of an older figure with the beard, so it's a sort of wisdom and learning. This person is not, similar to the other cards. We had a lot of seated cards back in the lesser numbers, but this 9 here, this Hermit, is a card that's upright and moving and ready to go. So it's in action. So this 8 and 9 are very upright cards. They're on their feet. They're ready for action. They're on the move. They're on the go. And so more leadership cards here. You see with here the Strength card and the Hermit. And they're willing to move and get things going. All right, so here we have the Wheel of Fortune and Justice. Okay, so these will be the last 2 cards I'll look at in this video, and we'll call it a part 1 video. Okay, so here we have the Wheel of Fortune. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is card number 10. And so we have the wheel, literally like the game show Wheel of Fortune, and it spells the word tarot, so T-A-R-O. And we have some Hebrew symbolism, and I believe they say the same thing. And so this is a wheel in the sky, so like the song The Wheel in the Sky keeps turning. And so we have a lot of animal symbols. We have sort of a goat, a lion, an eagle, and a person. And they're meant to represent the 4 elements. They each have a book, so it's about studying and learning. We have a fox, a snake, and a sphinx with a sword. And so the Wheel of Fortune, we have the clouds, and we have sort of the lower clouds, upper clouds and lower clouds. And what this card indicates is that things are turning, things are in flux, things are changing. So the Wheel of Fortune says, typically it's a card of change, it's a card of movement, it's a card that says, hey, if things are good, then do everything you can with the time you have. Make the best of this time. If things are bad, then just sort of hold on, because things will change. So a lot of symbolism here as far as change, as far as fluctuation is concerned. So the four corners are covered, so they could represent stability and structure. And so remaining calm, remaining stable, doing the best you can to sort of weather any storms that you may be going through, but also capitalizing on any moments where you can make some quick changes that could be of use or be of help to the situation. So typically, the Wheel of Fortune is a card of change and taking advantage of change. Okay, card number 11 is the Justice card. So now we're back to a seated figure. We're back to pillars. And we're going to have another person in a red robe. So this is a person of leadership. We have a crown here. So royalty. The purple draping gives another sign of royalty. And this person is, we have the scales, so things are fair. It's a thing of fairness. And we have the sword, which is a symbol of truth and speaking truth. So justice is about balance and truth. It's a karmic card. It's about restoring order to a situation. And so the Justice card number 11 is typically a very balanced card, and just sort of, we have two pillars here, like sort of the number 11 here. And it's just a card about restoring order. It's about getting things back to where they need to be. We have the red here, symbol of root chakra, and the green here with the heart chakra. So, red is about action and the physical universe. Green is about love and connecting with other people. So making sure that things are in balance. So we have the blue here with the throat chakra, speaking truth, restoring order. The Justice card could represent the legal system, could represent the courts. It could represent paperwork, and also could just represent mental clarity. It could represent being fair to other people. So creating laws, creating rules, creating order that are fair to people, not just the people who create the laws, but to just all people. So, and that's the thing, is just sort of restoring order, restoring justice to the situation. Okay, so that is, just the Justice card has a lot to do with paperwork, truth, speaking the truth, and fairness overall. All right, well, thank you for watching this video number 1 with me. I appreciate it, and stay tuned for the next set of Major Arcana cards.